Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel Masai Assignment Solution, and we are going to do one more question related to our recursion. And in this question, we are going to generate permutation. And you know that my name is Mandeep Rahar, and if you don't subscribe my channel, please subscribe my channel. Okay, and let's start. So in this question, we need to print all the permutation, and for this, we are going to do you can see these are the 1 2 3 then we need to all the print all the permutation. That means all the possible way we can write this number. Okay, so first of all, let's start. And how many way we can print this one? So then the factorial of 3 means the whatever the length of our integer, the factorial 3, 2, and 1. So these are the possible way. 3 and 2, 6. We can print this number. So how we can solve this question? So let's start. Let's go to code and I will explain you. Okay. Okay. So this one is the solution of this code, and I told you now question become a little bit difficult. I also solved the last question. I also become confused because I am trying to explain this question to you first time. So I also become a little bit confused in last question. But I hope you understand, because in the recursion have unlimited loop. Okay, so you cannot imagine your mind to how things are going. So in this question, what we are going to do, so this one is our input part. Okay. Yeah. So this one our input part. We take n, then array, then I created a array list. Okay, or you know that in the array list is like that. Okay, first it will blank array list. If I add a one at here, one, then two, then three. Okay, and if you done your first unit in good, means if you revise the all the topic of the first unit, then you can easily solve the what is array list. So in this array list, we have some function like that add. With that add, we can add any element into our array list, and then add current dot size means the name of the our array list. Current dot size means whatever the size of the our array list. The size of the array list is now 3. At here you can say current dot get I means if I write current dot get 1, so then it will give me this integer. Okay, so this is about all about the array list and method. So now go to our next part. If you understand array list, so then you can understand this question also. And this is the only way you can solve this question. So now you can see array list. We are create array list, then take integer, current name, array list, and this is the only way to create a new array list. And then I call a function current a blank array list with a means my array, and with n with the length of the our n. Okay, so now go to our recursion part. So now see, we have this uh, function. Okay, in this function, whenever I my current size equal to n, means that in this code I am going to add one by one integer into my blank array list. Okay, 1, then I add 2, then I add 3. Then whenever the length of our array list become equal to n, you can see the length of our array list is 3. Okay, and now this one is also equal to n. So then I am going to print my array list. Okay, and you can see at here I am going to print my array list. You can see this one is the one array list. I am going to print it. Okay, so yes, now move on to our main code. Yeah. So yeah, little bit. Okay, now all done. Now go to again our code. Yeah. So this one is the a one more array. I run till n. You know that if in the our array we have three element 1, 2, and 3. So all the possible way to start means if we are going to print this 1, 2, 3, so then number can be start with 1, 2, and 3. So this thing we are going to do at here. Okay, number can be start from 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, it means we have three way to solve this question. In the in after the now I am going to main part 1, 2, and 3. What I am going to do? First, don't go to this set here. If see if current dot contain means if our in the array list we have already this element, then we will be continue. Okay, continue means we direct jump to our I plus I if I is 0 and 0 is also available in your count, then we go to directly on next move. Okay, else we will go at here. This one is the else part. Okay, I don't write else here, but it is the else part. If it is contained, then continue, go to next integer. So that thing are happen at here. So yeah, so at here you can say in the starting my array list is blank. Done. Okay, then I run my loop till n. Then I add I into my array list. Okay, I add array list. Then I add 2. At here you can see uh, these are the three way. Okay, if I add into my array list 1, so now in the array list I have 1. Then I go to this part. Okay, now I again call this function means I am going to back at here again. Okay, so now in the current list I have 1. Okay, and at here you can see I am removing current dot size. What is the current dot size at here? 1, only 1 is present, and I am removing it. This one is the first iteration. First iteration is I uh, I I equal to 0. At here I see yeah, current don't contain anything because current is blank at the starting. Then I add 1. Okay, I add 1. Then I call it this function again. I call it this function again. Then I remove this I from the current. Okay, if I remove it from this current, then smile means this function again. Now current is again blank. Okay, now I become 1. Again I go to at here. Again I add a dot I. A dot I is now 2. Now I add 2. Then I call this function again. Again I go back here. Again I remove it. So if I remove it means again my current list become empty. Then I add 3 like that. So what are happening here? See, these are the why these are the possible way. Okay, see now go to at here again because we call this function again, so we call back to at here again. If I go back with 1 means I have 1 into my current, so then I come at here again, and now you can see this condition is true because in the current I have already contained 1. Okay, so then move to next part. Then I will add 2 means in this what we are going to we are calling again two things are like that. Okay, Now the possible thing is I add 2 at here. Okay, and one more thing, I add 3 at here. How this is happening? At here you can see, with I remove 1, then I again I add 2, then I remove it, again I add 3. So with that, what I am going to do at here again, I add 2, then I remove it, again I go to at here, I add 3, and then I remove it. Okay, now we have two things. Again, this one is the our again one more you can say become our, we again call this thing at here. Hmm. Okay, so if I again call at here, now current have the these two integer, again current have the those two integer, and I call again this function. Now you go back to at here 2. If I have 1 and 2, then I go back to at here. You can see my current dot contain these two elements 1 and 2. So then it will add 3 at here. It will add 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then what we are going to do at here again, you key is now the length equal to become 3 equal to, then we are going to print this one. At here what we are going to do, we go again traverse. Now current have the 1 and 3, and 1 and 3, so then we again call it. And if you call it, so then you can see 1 is continue, so then we add 1, 2, and 3 is also continue, because 3 is also contained into our current list, so then we print 1, 1, 3, and 2. And it will be also length of become equal to our n, and we are printed. Now it will become little bit confusing for you, I know that, because I took almost 1 to 2 hours to understand this question. I have this code, but still I took 1 hour to understand how things are happening in this question. Okay, again go back to वो एक बार और बस, ठीक है। देखो हम क्या करते हैं। ओके, फर्स्ट माई करंट लिस्ट ब्लैंक, मैं सबसे पहले एक वाले प्रिंट करूंगा, ठीक है। एक वाले समझ में आ गए तो आपको सब कुछ आ जाएगा समझ में। ओके, आई एड वन एट here and I call it again this function. If I call it again this function, so then I go back to at here again. Now my current have 1. Okay, now I am come at here again. My current is contain 1, yeah, contain ones. Okay, so then go to our next. Now I become 1. In the ith position, 0, 1, 2. So now in the second position, you can see I have 2. So then I add 2 at here. 1, 2. Okay, then I go back at here again. I am calling again this function. Now I have in the current is 2. Okay, I again call back. If I go call back again, then I go to add here again. Then 1 and 2 already contain, so then I add 3 at here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now if I call back again this one, so then it will see our length is equal to contour size, so then we are going to print it. But what are happening, this line is the most important role in this question. So what he is doing, देखो सी फर्स्ट ऐड किया था, उसको रिमूव किया, अगले आइट्रेशन में 2 ऐड किया, 2 को रिमूव कर दिया, अगले आइट्रेशन में 3 को ऐड किया, 3 को रिमूव कर दिया। लेकिन हर एक के साथ बट वी आर कॉलिंग स्माइल फंक्शन अगेन। ओके, सो देख वन ऐड किया, we call again a smile function with one. We have in the array list one already. Then we again go at here. Now what are happening at here? See, when I call this function with these three, okay. Now I go to at here. I remove what I am going to remove. Remove dot size minus one. What is size? Size is two minus one become one, zero and one. What is the zeroth index? Two. So it will remove two. If it will remove two, so then if it is removed two and we have in the array list one and our I is now again I go to for loop. Now I become two. My I will contain three. No, so then I add three at here. Okay, now I add three and I call again function on swap on it. Again, now I have 1 and 3. If I call again this function, I go to again at here. Again, I traverse all the array on with the take of these two elements. Then you can see I 1 is also include. Yes, include. 2 is not include. So then I am going to add 2 at here. And 3 is contain into list. Yes, it is contained. So then I don't add 3 at here. And again I call this function, then I can see the length of our array list equal to n. So then I am going to print it. These are the way we can solve one. भाई बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग है. If you don't know recursion very well, so then you can't understand this question. And this question only solved by this method if you want to accept this question. One more way of to solve this question, but with that way you can't these two are become means you can't, this question don't be accepted. You can print all the permutation, but this question not accepted if you don't use this method. Okay, I don't have pen and pencil. That's why I am using my mouse for writing and all things. And that's why I can't add anything. Yeah. If you know recursion, then you can solve this question. Else, bro, you can't. Okay. Sorry. So that's all in this question. Thank you so much. Bye bye.